We are live.
Hey, so you actually see the others, or are you a co-host, Oscar? You're on mute. Okay.
Oscar is also
Everyone.
a co-host.
How you doing, guys? Good?
Good.
Doing well. How about yourself?
Oh, good. Oh, good. Pleasure to meet you, Tal.
Likewise.
Very good. Very good. I hope you're pumped. This is going to be really good. This is going to be really good fun. Yeah, I'll just be in the background anyway. Anything that comes in.
People are joining now. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
We'll just wait a few minutes.
Yeah. Yo, Andy.
What up, what up?
How you doing?
Well, I look homeless. I'm not going to turn on my camera here.
All right, we got 26. Just wait. People are coming in.
Yep.
Just before starting, everyone who's joined already, if you have questions during the presentation, you can use the Q&A feature, and at the end of the presentation, we'll answer the questions.
Yep.
The recording will also be the meeting will also be recorded. So if you have to jump out, you can rewatch it later. All right, I think we get started. So thanks everyone for joining. I'm personally really excited about this one. Tal is really truly a master at cold email, mass personalized outreach systems, and email deliverability. Some trusted sources around me who have worked with Tal consider him one of the top experts in the world. So we'll see about that. But he's also the founder of Slight Edge Agency, where they manage over 3,500 email inboxes. They're mostly focused on the M&A market, and Tal today will go over everything you need to know to start your own cold email outreach, how to make sure they're actually delivered, some really interesting AI personalization, and I think he even has some templates for us for specifically the AI agency space. And I'd also love to talk about your story and your future plans with AI. Thank you so much for being here, Tal.
Thank you very much for the invite and for the kind words. So we can get started. I will do a quick screen share and we can just dive straight into it. I will start also with a small introduction about myself and also my motivation to do it. So let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. So I would start off with my motivation to do something like that. Basically, it's taking me outside of my comfort zone. I've never done something like that, like a masterclass or presentation to a bunch of people. So that's a huge part of why I wanted to do it. And yeah, a little bit more about myself. I'm Tal Sionov. Originally, I'm from Israel, and now for the past 3 years, I'm a digital nomad. I live in Latin America. I lived in Mexico, in Colombia, in Brazil, and now I reside in Buenos Aires in Argentina. Over the past 3 years, I've built a couple of agencies, one of which is a cold email agency, Slight Edge Agency, and also an M&A deal sourcing firm, which is Slight Edge Partners. Very recently, we've hit a 7-figure annual run rate, which I'm excited about. And we've hit that all through cold outbound. So basically, I've never spent a dime on paid ads. Everything that we've built has been through the same strategies that I will share with you guys today. So a little bit more context. When we started, we were one of the only firms who used to run 100% fully manual, hyper-personalized outreach, long before hyper-personalization became a buzzword. At the time, a productive day for an account executive would be sending just anywhere from 35 to 40 highly personalized emails per day. We literally spent like 15 minutes per each cold email that we would have sent out. And back then, at the time, that was more than enough to fill pipelines. And now, thanks God to AI, we've scaled the volume significantly. So today we manage, just on the done for you, we manage over 3,500 inboxes across the board, across all of our clients and partners. And approximately we're sending about 80,000 emails per day. Next week, we're going to set up 150 additional inboxes. So we always scale the operation. Now, despite the scale that we manage nowadays, we still approach the emails with the same mindset of how it was when we started. Basically, how we would write this email if it were 100% manual. We then reverse engineer the process, we find the patterns, and basically use AI to make it scalable. And today I will also show you some exact examples with 10 or so leads of how we actually make it happen. The goal here is to share with you what actually has been working both for us and for our clients, and what is working right now when it comes to B2B cold outreach. So let's just dive in. I wanted to start that with the email deliverability because, in my opinion, this is the foundation. Because when it comes to that, it doesn't really matter how good your cold email is. If your message doesn't really land in the primary inbox, if it lands in the spam, then it doesn't have any effect. So this is the main things that we do to make sure that whenever we send cold emails, they actually land in the primary inbox. So first, you never want to send any cold email from your main domain. For example, our main domain with our agency is /agency.com. But to send cold emails, we created similar named domains with different ending. So we have /agency.co. We have also .net, or even if you choose .com domains, I would do something like /H partners team, maybe at .com, .net, or .co. Only choose one of those three because you really want to think about deliverability as what would a spammer or a scammer do, and I should do the opposite. Spammers typically would choose, the cheapest domains out there, which are .xyz, things of that sort. They typically do not perform as well as, .com domains. So that's that. Another reason why you want to do it that way is that if with time enough people will mark you as spam, because you use an alternative domain, it will have zero effect on your main domain. So you don't want your real emails from your real domain to really be in the spam. Also, you want to make sure that you set up all of the SPF, DKIM, and DMARC records. There are a ton of tutorials on how to do that online, or better yet, just hire an agency, or you have a lot of tools nowadays that can set up all of that for you. But you need to make sure that you have all of those technical records set up in the background. You also want to validate your lead lists. There are plenty of tools that can help you do that. I personally recommend Reun. They have a lifetime deal with AppSumo. This is what we've been using. Basically, you can get millions of credits for just a one-time fee of around $300, and you can get like 5,000 credits every single day for free forever. So again, very cost-effective, something that I would recommend. Now, when you create a new infrastructure, you would need to warm up your domains and warm up your inboxes. Typically, that warm-up process takes about a couple of weeks. I would recommend specifically for the warm-up to use people.ai. For the cold email sending, we do use instantly.ai and smartlead.ai, but that is sort of like our secret. I've never shared that publicly, but we, over the past 4 or 5 months, we've migrated all of the warm-ups that we do to people.ai for several reasons. First of which, I think because both Instantly and Smartly, they became too big, so that by now probably all of the email sending providers like Gmail, Outlook, Zoho, etc., they all know that they exist, and of course they know that they have this warm-up service. I don't think that those big companies like Instantly and Smartly misrepresent the analytics, but a lot of the times they can show you that the health of your inboxes is at 100%, when in reality it's not the case. So if you use a tool like people.ai, I find that the analytics are a little bit more accurate when it shows you the health of your inboxes. And also, technically speaking, the algorithm of how they actually send the warm-up emails works extremely well. A lot of the times you won't even know that this is a warm-up email. So again, this is why I really like them. Whenever you create those inboxes with an alternative domain, you want to keep it to anywhere between 2 to 3 inboxes maximum per domain. And after the 2 weeks of warm-up, you can start with 10 cold emails per day per inbox, and then you want to bump it by 2 to 3 every single day until you eventually get to 30 cold emails per day per inbox. So basically, when it comes to cold emails, if you want to scale and do more volume, you need to scale it horizontally. So basically, if today you send, let's say, 500 cold emails per day, and you want to double that and be able to send 1,000 cold emails per day, then all you have to do is you just create more and more inboxes and create more and more domains. So you basically spread all of the volume across multiple inboxes, so that if one of those domains or inboxes would be marked too many times as spam, it won't affect your whole infrastructure. So that's the thinking behind that. You always want to keep a ratio of 50% warm-up emails to 50% cold emails. Basically, a warm-up email, if you've never heard about it, there is like a pool of a bunch of email accounts where you're sending a lot of automated AI emails to them, and they basically reply positively to you to really show the email sending providers that you're legit, that you're not a scammer, and that people don't mark you as spam as often. So that's what it means when I say cold email warm-up. You also want to avoid tracking any open or click rates, especially nowadays where it's not really accurate anymore. And you always want to send your emails as text only. Instantly, last week, came up with a really great feature where you can send just the first cold email as text only. And then if you have in the follow-ups, maybe you want to share some Loom videos or GIFs or things of that sort, you can do it. I would still recommend to always send cold emails with just text only, because the more HTML or the more pixels it has, the less likelihood you have for it to actually be able to hit in the inbox. You also want to include spin tags. That's basically randomization. So sometimes you want it to start with hey first name, sometimes hi first name, sometimes just first name, and you want to do it in every single segment of your cold email. The more randomizations you have, the better your deliverability would be, because no real human really sends the same exact email for thousands of people every single day. So the more randomizations that you have, the better. We also use a tool like Email Guard to check our copy, our cold email copy, for spam words. This is something that we've learned, that we've implemented at scale about a couple of months ago. It became more important to do it because the spam filters have become increasingly more and more aggressive, especially with the Microsoft and Outlook. So you want to make sure that at the maximum, you may only have one spam word in some, depending really on what you sell, but you want to strive to have 0 spam words. Those are the main things, to be honest, that you need to make sure when it comes to email deliverability. In a couple of minutes, I will show you, the sexier stuff and the AI stuff and all of that. But again, it's still important for us, to go over that. In terms of the actual email infrastructure that we use for ourselves, we like to keep it very simple most of the times, and most of our infrastructure is still Google Workspace. We have our own reseller price at only $2 per month per inbox, as opposed to paying, the regular $7.2 per month. If you want me to hook you up with that, feel free to reach out after this call, and happy to set you up with that as well. But again, you can just look for it on Google, and you may find a lot of resellers. If you're a little bit more advanced and you manage over 200 inboxes, or you send above 5,000 cold emails per day, then you're at a point where I would suggest you to further diversify your cold email infrastructure. So basically, as of today, the best ones that I am aware of are Google Workspace, Outlook accounts. You can also find those with reseller pricing, Mail.so, and Hypertide. Those are right now the best performing when it comes to deliverability. But yeah, if you do less volume, if you're not an agency, or your total addressable market is not that big that you need, to do a massive outreach, then I would just keep it simple and go with Google Workspace. We've touched that on already, but my favorite email sequencing tool is Instantly.ai. But for some campaigns, we also use SmartLead. They have really great APIs. You can do a lot of automations with SmartLead. I think Instantly is coming today or in the next few days with their API version 2. So excited to see how that would look like. But basically, for the really advanced people here, we do something that I call advanced lead recycling waterfall. Basically, for one of our partners, we manage just for them about more than 1,500 inboxes. So what we do is we actually created a different landing page for the same offer. So we start first Instantly. We run a bunch of campaigns there with a certain copy and with a certain, it all comes from a certain company. We then, a couple of months later, recycle the leads that didn't reply, or those that said, I'm not interested, but still are open to receive more emails. We reach out to them with the same offer, different landing page. So basically it comes from a different company. We use SmartLead there. We use a different email sending infrastructure and slightly different copy, so that we have another, bite at the apple, if you will, another chance to get more and more appointments. Again, 99% of you won't need to do it, but for those of you that are really advanced, this is something that we are doing, and we're seeing some really great results there. Hopefully everything makes sense and it's not too technical thus far.
Why would you prefer a solution like Instantly over maybe like something like Apollo or something like this? What's the advantage?
Yeah, so Apollo, we use Apollo, but as a lead database. I won't ever pretty much recommend sending the actual cold emails from Apollo, because their technology, even though they're improving, recently, their technology for how they send emails is, I feel, 5 years behind. With Instantly, you have something that is called, I forgot the name of it, but basically what it gives you is the ability to spin a bunch of inboxes and being able to send a lot of, it's called inbox rotation. So you can basically rotate a lot of inboxes at the same time. So basically, if you upload a lead list with 5,000 prospects, you don't want to send, with one inbox to all of those 5,000 prospects. So when you have like 30, 50, 100 inboxes, with Instantly and similar with SmartLead, they can spread all of this volume to all of the number of inboxes that you have. So basically, you have a lot more diversity when it comes to your infrastructure. Plus, this is a tool that all they do is just, it exists to make sure that your deliverability would be on point. So they have things like leads bounced protections, things of that sort, which is really nice. They have built spin tags, which is, again, the randomization. That is something that is really important for spam score. With tools like Apollo, again, I haven't checked them for the past 4 or 5 months, so maybe they improved that. But I remember that you could only use your own main domain to send the cold emails. So this is, of course, a big no-no when it comes to that. Any more questions regarding that?
No, it makes sense. I mean, that's their pure focus, right? While Apollo has other services they offer.
Yeah, Apollo is a really great tool to really scrape all of the lead lists. We still use Apollo as one of our primary data providers. So each tool has its own, strengths. To actually being able to send cold emails, do it at scale, do a bunch of A/B tests, personalizing with AI and all of that, instantly and smartly, it would be your best bets. Now, I wanted to include here a couple of examples from some of the campaigns that we're currently running, and to show you like the different frame of minds, if you will, of how we look at things. This is one campaign where within the full year, we sent 281,000 cold emails. So it's not a hell lot, it's not too much volume, but it's also not something that is very small. Total, we reached out to 58,000 leads because we don't just send one cold email, we also have follow-ups. So you can see here the spread. Here we got an average of 7.3% reply rate, which is not too shabby. And we got 788 positive replies. Now, the thing about this campaign is that here we actually use the highly personalized outreach, and the total addressable market, the TAM, is not as big, and they also had a really great offer. So in this case, because we extremely personalize it, we actually got one positive reply out of 74 leads that we've contacted. So I would say that anything below 150 or even 200, like for every one positive reply out of 200 leads or less, you're getting pretty good results. Anything below 100, you're doing extremely good. Anything below 50, it's amazing. So in this specific campaign, we got one positive reply out of 74 leads, and typically we book around 50% of the positive replies into meetings. So imagine one meeting out of 144, 150 leads. It's not too shabby. In the other hand, we have a different campaign. This is more of a mass outreach campaign. The total addressable market here is a lot bigger. And also the offer itself is not as good. It's a lot more saturated offer. And here we needed to do 8 times the volume to get somewhat similar results when it comes to the actual opportunities. So if here within the full year, we got 788 opportunities, here we reached out to 440,000 in like 243 days, and we got almost the same amount of opportunities. It just goes to show that not all offers are the same. And if your offer is very transactional, nothing that is too new, think of maybe credit card processing, think of B2B insurance or small business lending, just to name a few. Those are very, binary. It's either they need it or they do not need it. And you can, overthink and try to find a really great angle and over-personalize it. But in the end of the day, if they don't really need it, you're better off just doing a lot of volume, and this is how you can get the results. Luckily for us, with the sexier stuff, with like AI infrastructures, AI agents, it's really hot right now. So you can do it hyper-personalized without a ton of volume and still get really great results. So here, just to show the difference, we got one positive reply out of 574. So it's, like 8 or 9 times higher to get the same amount of opportunities. So the key takeaway here is that your approach should be tailored to the nature of your offer and your target market. When volume wins is, as I've mentioned, when the offer is a little bit more transactional, like insurance, credit card processing, funding, etc., you're better off playing, the numbers game. You still want to make sure that you have the fundamentals, but I wouldn't overthink the personalization. These offers are typically binary, as I've said, and most of the times the executives don't really have it top of mind. So you're better off just recycling, coming back again every quarter or two and trying to see if now it's the right time, and basically volume negates luck. When it comes to the campaigns where personalization matters is where when your offer is very niched, maybe it's something that is innovative, maybe you have an extremely irresistible or a sexy offer. Think AI infrastructure, AI agent solutions, performance-based B2B lead generation, things of that sort. This is where personalization can make a really great impact. In a couple of minutes, I will show you some exact examples of how we actually implement that and how does that look like. These campaigns do benefit a lot from deep personalization. You can personalize the use case, how you can use AI to fix specific problems that they may have based on what is it that they're actually doing. So we basically use the personalization to show them that we've done our homework. What we found is that, especially nowadays where it's a lot easier in a sense, to send cold emails with a lot of technology and AI that is existing now, we found that a lot of the times those business owners and executives, they're getting pitched pretty much every day, a lot of the times even multiple times a day. And we found that if they feel like they're being part of some kind of a list, or this is just another automated message, from our experience, they don't even bother to read it. And a lot of the times it goes straight away for the spam. So what we try to do, on the other hand, is we try to extremely personalize our approach. And of course, we leverage a lot of AI to do it. That way, we can still get really great results without sending mass outreach and without spraying and praying. This is just one example from the top of my head of how we can actually make this happen. We can personalize our AI solution in this example and how that could help them in their specific situation based both on what they do and who they serve. So basically, this is just a custom variable, hey, first name. I saw that company name specializes in whatever they specialize in for who their ICP, basically their ideal client profile, who they target. So an example would be, hey Tal, I saw that Slight Edge Partners specializes in generating off-market M&A deal flow for boutique investment banking firms. If somebody starts a cold email like that, for me, straight away it cuts through the noise, because if you guys are already getting cold emails, if you have work emails and you're getting a lot of cold emails, I'm willing to bet that 99.9% of them are not personalized at all. They're very general, and maybe you can get something as personalized as, again, it's very simple personalization, but even that type of personalization, maybe you can get once every 2-3 months. And this is the opportunity here. Just by implementing those small key things, you can cut through the noise. Now, given this, and again, you're bound by your creativity. You can go very deep. You can be very technical here, but I will try to keep it, just the basics for our purposes, not to make it too complicated. So basically, hey Tal, so that whatever my company does and specializes in given this, I thought that you'd be interested in how and here this is basically how you pitch them, how our AI solution can help you either reduce something, maybe reduce costs, reduce time that we use, that help me save time, things of that sort, or how it can help me achieve goals. Maybe it can double to triple my sales pipeline, can help me increase my conversion rates, whatever your AI solution helps your target market. Then you can follow it up with we recently helped just some case studies. We recently helped one of your competitors achieve whatever result you help them achieve in a specific time frame by this one sentence about your process. Would you like to learn more? So here you can even take it one step further and personalize how your AI solution could help them fix a specific, can help them achieve a specific goal based on what they do. And again, I will show you an example live in a couple of minutes, so everything will make sense, even if it feels a little bit overwhelming right now. So again, the reason why we use those personalizations, it's because it helps us making our pitch a lot more relevant. it helps us with cutting through the noise and actually show the prospect that we took the time and we did a little bit of research about the prospect, or in the very least, we made sure that what we have to offer is really relevant for them in their specific situation. And it also helps with deliverability, because whenever we use a lot of AI custom variables in our emails, they actually become very unique. Because think about it, with AI, you can do it at scale. You don't have to do it manually. And if you have a lead list with, let's say, 1,000 prospects, you can send a cold email, and each one of the emails would look extremely unique for the receiver. So let's say that I have let's say I want to pitch digital PR company. So, hey, John, I saw that XYZ Digital PR specializes in creating backlinks for fintech companies, things of that sort. And then for a different company that does something different, it will always personalize it to what they do. So the point here is that it will also improve your deliverability, because not all of your emails will look the same. How do you actually build those AI personalizations? And some prompt examples, I will show that with you as well. First, when it comes to our philosophy, when it comes to AI and cold emails, we don't use AI to write the entire emails. AI is great, but it's still not at the point where you can fully, send it to AI and let it come up with a 100% AI generated email. Maybe in a year or a couple of years from now, we will be at that stage. But right now, what has been working the best is creating AI generated custom variables. Custom variables are things that are probably most of you are already aware of, are things like first name, company name, the title of the person, things of that sort. We take it one step further and we focus on creating AI generated ones. Some examples could be a company achievement, specific milestone or success that we found about their company. Maybe we found this data on their company's website, and I will show you in a second how we find the data as well. Maybe we found this data on Crunchbase or different type of databases, or maybe on their personal LinkedIn account or company's LinkedIn account. If we reach out to an e-commerce brand and we have an AI solution to help them with something that is related to their product or customer service, things of that sort, we can also create like a summary of their product description so that you can put that in cold email as well. Maybe we can take a case study from their website and we can tell them like, hey, I saw your case study of how you helped so-and-so achieve whatever they helped them achieve. Straight away, it cuts through the noise, show them that you did the research about them. You can also make a custom variable of who they're targeting as well. So maybe your offer is, I can help you get in front of more roofers or whoever they are targeting, right? So that's valuable. How you actually do it? So there are two main ways, one of which is with clay.com. By the way, afterwards, I will share with everybody the link here, so you can check all of this out, including the codes that I will share with you here. So here, I put a hyperlink for Clay's University. Takes maybe 3 to 5 hours to play around with it, and then you will understand most of the things that we are doing or that I will show you today. You will be able to do it through Clay. I would recommend going with Clay if you want to do some more complex stuff. It's a little bit more sophisticated, but also a little bit more expensive. It's better if you have some complex workflows. You can handle a lot of data enrichment automatically. And basically, it's great for large-scale operations. It could even be good for like small-scale operations if you're creative enough and use a lot of API. So there are multiple ways to still use Clay and keep it somewhat affordable, less than $500 per month, and still be able to do a ton of volume. But you will have to use your own API keys for that. Or you have the second method, which I created with ChatGPT. I don't know how to code, but it took me like 2.5 hours with a bunch of codes to figure this out. Basically, we integrated ChatGPT with Google Sheets through an app script to do a couple of things. First, we scrape, like we have a row of websites. We want a scraper to scrape based on those, website domains. Please scrape, the homepage of all of those companies. And now that we have the homepage of these companies, we have everything that they have on the website in the website. We can personalize, the hell out of it. We can understand what they do, their services, who they do it for, and based on that, again, as long as you're creative, you can come up with many different prompts. This way, doing it that way is very cost effective. It works well even for smaller operations. It works extremely well if you have really good VAs. It's pretty much repetitive. It requires some technical setup. Nothing too crazy, 2-3 minutes to do every single time you have a new Google Sheet. But the benefit is that you can process more than even 10,000 leads nowadays, to be honest, in less than $1 in GPT credits. So it's crazy cheap to do it, and you can do it at scale. So how you do it, again, I won't really waste too much time on the technical aspect, but this is the code that took me like 2.5 hours to come up with ChatGPT. All you have to do is just put your API key here, and then voila, you have ChatGPT integrated to your Google Sheets. I have another code here that I created with Zenrose. This is how you can scrape the websites. So basically, you put it, and again, you can ask ChatGPT for a quick, step-by-step tutorial of how to do it. Takes less than 2 or 3 minutes, and you should be all set. Again, summarize that with Clay. You can do more complex stuff, not just website scraping. You can scrape even data such as how many, like the full work history of the person, of the executive, how long have they been in a specific role, specific tenure, like the amount of time that they've been with a company, if they're currently hiring for a specific solution, for a specific position, Let's say that you sell an AI SDR, you can see which companies are currently hiring for SDRs, and you can actually say that on your cold email, like, hey, I saw that company name is hiring for SDRs. Have you thought about implementing an AI SDR solution, right? It's highly relevant. And again, this is something that you can do with Clay. You can even do some things like, not sure if this is more relevant for you or for some colleague that is working with them in the same department. The case in point is that, again, it's your imagination and creativity. Now, how does that actually work in reality? I will share with you some of my own prompts that I'm using with some of my clients, and additional prompt at the end that I created specifically for today's masterclass. So a lot of the times when you send cold emails, of course, you do not want to send like a cold email to a company name that looks like that. So if you send it to Ed Ferrand, you don't want to send it with the LLC or Inc. or Ltd. Or these are just some things that I added myself to show you like how this GPT would work. Sometimes, they have hashtags or TM. Like it would look like an automation if we would send it to them or for Ben AI, especially if you scrape things from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, the custom variables of company name, sometimes the titles or even first names, they don't look as good. So we can implement AI to clean the data. So here, this is an example of how we can clean company names very quickly. Just copy this and can do something like that. I put it here, and then it's that simple, and then you see the results in front of you. So this is how you want it to look when you actually send the cold email. You want it to remove LLC, Inc., Ltd., blah, 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 all of that. So that is just one example. And then, of course, you copy this and you paste it here, and then that's that. Another example that we have here is clean titles. Sometimes people may have multiple titles, and if in your cold email copy you want to start it with, hey name, I saw that you've been the CEO at company name for the past 3 years, you don't want it to say something large like that. Sometimes, depending where you get your data from, it could also have the company name. So it's not good. You want it to be very clean. So this is an example of how we clean titles. So, and also you want it to be lowercase. So as you can see, it not only shortens it, it also lowercases it, so it will look more natural, right? So here, instead of the company name, it only, gives you whatever you need it to have. So instead of saying Chief Marketing Officer and Sales Director at company name, just CMO. So small tricks like that where AI can save you a lot of time and make your emails more potent, if you will. Another thing, this is a very specific use case, might not be relevant for most of you here, but I still wanted to include it just to show you what is possible. This is something that we've created. So I want the AI to be able to see if this company would be a good fit for my client, so that we won't waste time, reaching out to companies that are not relevant for what they do. One of my clients, they are a digital PR agency, and they only work with tech companies or SaaS companies, and they help them with backlinks. So basically, it's an SEO thing. So here we scraped the data from the website, and I will show you in a couple of minutes how we actually scrape the data from the website. I will show it to you live as well. But here we have everything that they have on the web, on their homepage. So based on that, we can do something like that and tell me if this is like a SaaS or a software company or not. So very easy. All of those are SaaS. Those couple of companies are not. One of them is my company, Slide Edge Partners. So yes, we are not a SaaS company. And this is a non-profit. This is an association for nurses. So of course, it's not a fit. So this is how you can qualify, your lead list, and making sure that you don't waste time reaching out, to people that are not relevant for your solution. How you make it practical for yourself? You can run it through ChatGPT or Claude and tell them, like, this is a use case of how we use AI to verify if a company is the right ICP that we want to send cold emails to. Based on this template, help me create a similar template, but to verify if the company is, and then you put your own ICP. If you're reaching out to e-commerce brands, so you just tell it to make a similar type of prompt, but that will verify if those companies are e-com brands or not, right? Here's another one that checks if this company is non-profit or not. I had a client that wanted to reach out to only non-profits. So this is how it works. Very easy. We only have one non-profit company here. The rest are for-profit companies. So very easy. And one thing that I created, for everybody here, for the masterclass, this is like, let's say that you guys provide AI SDRs. So this is somewhat of a creative use case, if you will, and I will show it to you in a second. But basically, for it to work, you need to have enough context. Typically, we get the context from whatever information they have on the website. How do we scrape what they have on the website? Very easy. I shared with you one of the codes that we use. So basically, I do scrape websites, and then it's at number. I want to scrape my company and Ben's company. So let's make it happen. Scrape websites. Okay. Please don't send me cold emails to my personal email, but this is how you do it. Go to unlimited project, unsafe, that's fine. Allow. Perfect. And now you just write 10, and then boom, it scraped the website. So now I copy this, put it here, and then voila, we have everything that I have on our website. So based on that, it can have enough context to really come up with this prompt that I will just show you right now. And this is how it works. So basically, this is the prompt, and let's see what is the result. Okay. Given that this company does machine learning solutions for advertisers, this is a SaaS company that probably this is what they do. Have you thought how an AI SDR could help you enhance outreach to potential clients and increase campaign bookings without increasing your headcount? So imagine, circling back to this type of email, so basically that could replace all of this part, like, hey name, given that you guys are providing machine learning solutions for advertisers, have you thought how an AI SDR could help you enhance outreach to potential clients and increase campaigns booking without increasing your headcount? And then you follow it up with a case study of how you helped a similar company to them achieve similar results, and then invite them to learn more or things of that sort. This is how we play that here. Another one, given advice-based billing and payment solutions for fee-for-service financial advisors. It also talks about their ICP, who they serve, which is nice. Have you thought how an AI SDR could help you onboard more advisors and streamline your client acquisition process? Extremely personalized. Let's take this non-profit company. Given Massachusetts Nurses Association's commitment to advocating for nurses and providing workplace conditions, have you thought how an AI SDR could help you engage more effectively with potential members and enhance union participation? Maybe it's something that is relevant for them. I have no clue. This is for my own company. Hey Tal, given SlideEdge Partners has exclusive deal sourcing for M&A firms, have you thought how an AI SDR could help you consistently fill your pipeline with high quality off-market deal opportunities? That's on point. And given Ben AI's focus on implementing AI solutions for growing companies, have you thought how an AI SDR could help you enhance lead generation and streamline your sales process without increasing your headcount? So these are just examples and some last few key takeaways. By the way, are there any questions or should I continue with?
No, it's amazing. Like what I'm seeing, you just have replaced what a lot of people use Clay for and pay a lot of money for inside of an Excel sheet. Right? I think many people will be interested. I can see it in the chat too on how you actually set up those scripts in Excel, because you're going to replace expensive softwares with this setup. Because I think for most people, this is all you need, right? Some custom sort of ways, and especially the scraping is huge. And you can replace Clay or maybe even Relevance AI tool that would do research for you.
Exactly. Yep. That's exactly that. This is how we are able to send, that amount of volume and still keep it in a fairly, reasonable price. Everything considered, So
amazing. Those little scripts are pretty easy to do, right? At least, let's say you don't do the web scraping. It's fairly simple, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So
with ChatGPT, with a little bit of brain stretching session, half an hour, 1 hour, you can come up with those scripts yourself as well. But again, I shared with you here a couple of ones that we use, so it will be way easier for you to implement those types of things on your own. Amazing. Or just do it with Clay, but it will be more expensive. Some last key points before we go over, some Q&A. You want to stress test your AI prompts. Typically, at minimum, we test like 40 to 70, like we test it with 40 to 70 leads from multiple industries in multiple scenarios. You want to make it hard for the AI, just for it, to see it in all of the extremes. And if you need to refine, you will probably need to refine it at least a few times until you get to as close to perfect as possible. Also, if you can see here, I provided it examples of like the perfect output that I want. Those examples, I suggest doing it manually yourself with ChatGPT, making sure that you refine it afterwards as well yourself, making sure that you really like the output, and only then put it as part of your prompt so that it will train it on the type of on the type of tone of voice that you want it to have. Then, after a lot of testings, I also added those types of things. Avoid generic suggestions like, we can help you boost engagement or enhance performance. I want it to be a little bit more practical with less fluff, focus on clear, actionable outcomes. If the company name is unknown, which sometimes can happen where you don't know the company name based on their website, you want it to default to given your core service, right? So this is something that you would only learn after you stress test. Keep it under 30 words. Do not talk to them in third person. Sometimes the output was given, company names, whatever they do, and instead of saying your, service, they would say their service, and it doesn't make sense where you send a cold email. So I told it to speak in first person, not in a third person. So all of those things, you play around with it a little bit, but that shouldn't take more than 10 minutes to stress test that, and then you should be off to the races. And you only automate it after you validated. So that's it in a nutshell. Hopefully that gave you enough context and enough, examples for you to play around with yourself. And yeah, if you have any specific questions or use cases, feel free to shoot it for us.
Thank you, Tal. That was amazing. Really good. I learned a ton myself. We got a few questions. But I think people, first of all, would love to have the Google Docs, right? We'll post after the meeting.
So yeah, should I send it to the chat?
Yeah, you can send it to the chat. Would be great. And then we post it after with the recording too. So Andre is asking, can you share some costs around Instantly? .ai.
Yes. So the main package that you would like is the one that costs $97 per month. With that, you can upload up to 25,000 leads, which for most of you, I think should be enough if you're just starting out. And you could send, I think, 100,000 cold emails with just $97 per month, or 75,000. I don't remember, but in any case, $97 per month. This is
for 75,000 emails. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, with the positive reply rates you get, that's a good customer acquisition cost, hopefully.
Yeah.
And this is what I noticed too. It's like what I see when I get a lot of cold emails is, and what I heard too, is like you never want to try and get someone on a call in the first email. Is that the same in your opinion?
So it depends. Sometimes we like to break the rules and do things that are a little bit different. But in the end of the day, most of the times your goal is to get them on a call, right? I would say that call to actions that work really well are, for the most part, are softer call to actions like, would you like to learn more? ? Worth exploring, worth a quick chat, something that is a little bit more soothing, not like, hey, let's hop on a quick call when you have 15 minutes. Sometimes that is a little bit too much. That being said, in some specific situations, we go extremely, not aggressive, but extremely to the other way, because it helps us with making sure that we come from a place of high status. Not a lot of people are talking about that, but whenever you send cold emails, you want to make sure that you're coming from a place of high status, not from a place of, please just give us a chance and we will prove you how good we are, because people won't really take you serious. I will exaggerate a little bit, guys, but it's way better to come from a place of abundance, from a place of, and again, I'm exaggerating, we're already working with companies just like you or even bigger than you. However, because of X, Y, Z, something that is unique about them, we wanted to see if you could be a good fit for us, and a really good call to action that comes along with that. And you need to know what you're doing to be able to do it. Could be something like, I'm quite busy this week, but next month/Tuesday could work for a quick chat. So it's like a takeaway type of a call to action that probably you never received a cold email like that.
No.
that we use. But again, just think of ways of how can you this is our core philosophy in the company, how we make it look like this is a human-to-human interaction. We're not bots. This is not an automation. This is how we try to sound.
Yeah, I like the framework because thinking on it, most emails you get sound very desperate, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. Omar's asking if we can use subdomains as sending domains.
I wouldn't recommend it. No, I wouldn't recommend. Do not use subdomains because with time it will be marked as spam. That can affect your main domain. Just get alternative domains. I recommend pork bun. I'm not sure if I went over it in the presentation, but pork bun, once every couple of months, they have really great deals for alternative domains. I think you can get .co domains for like $2 a pop. So whenever they have those things, I buy like 100, 200, 300 domains just for me, to have them on the backlog. So it's a really good deal.
Sense. John is asking, I use any mail finder to validate emails and find emails. Is there a better, more cost-effective way to do this? My leads come from LinkedIn Sales Navigator.
So I'm aware. I know of this tool. Tested it just a little bit, not so much. I mean, it's nice, but I don't use it myself. So I can just share what we're using. We mostly use Apollo.io to scrape our own leads. We also use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I have some people that are like VAs that go and scrape all of that for me, and we get that in a really great price. Sometimes even $3.5, $4 per each 1,000 leads. Sometimes even cheaper than that. So not sure if this is something that I can share publicly, but if you reach out to me privately, this is something that I can hook you up with as well. But you can also do just a quick Google search. Maybe you can find some Apollo scrapers, and maybe you can find some really good deals that way.
Amazing. And then one more. Oh no, we have a few more actually. Andre's asking if you've tried to work with GPTs or agents. Have you seen better answers? Have you tried something with agents yet?
So in what sense working? A specific use case or generally speaking?
I guess what he means for the personalization.
So we do use, of course, a lot of AI, as you saw, but when it comes to the inbox management, which I'm thinking this is maybe where he asked that, right now we don't use an AI inbox manager, but this is something that we are starting to look at as well. So still didn't implement it, so I cannot tell you if it is working well or not at scale. But what we do implement is a custom GPT that is trained on our partners and clients. So basically, we feed it with a lot of PDFs about who is our client, the website, what they do that is unique, the FAQ, how we handle objections, how our cold emails even look like, even the follow-ups. And based on that, it has the full context. And we even feed it some little bit of back and forth of how we handled some previous emails. So then it has this full context to help my inbox managers to manage the inboxes. So this is where we do manage it, but it's still somewhat manual.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, that could be interesting. The next step in automating your business, right?
Yep.
Inbox.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. James is asking, can you explain a little bit more about the email sequencing? Who do you send out the follow-up emails to? Is it people that respond or everybody? And then how many emails per day per email account?
Yep. So regarding how many days per email account, after the warm-up period and after the first incremental increase, you want to be at the point where you send 30 cold emails per day per inbox. You don't want to do more than 30. That's that. It's not a direct science. Some people may tell you, don't do more than 15. Others may tell you can do up to 50. We found that anywhere from 25 to 30 with most infrastructures are good. if you use something like Hypertide, you only want to do 2 cold emails per day per inbox, but they set up like 100 inboxes. But in any case, that's that. When it comes to the follow-ups, so basically we run a 5-sequence email most of the times. So basically it's 1 cold email and then 4 follow-ups. The first couple of follow-ups are in the same thread. 4th follow-up, it's in a different thread. Very easy to do it with instantly. When I say different thread, it actually sends that as a it's as if you send a new cold email.
Mm-hmm.
Now the time frame that we typically wait between those, so we send the first cold email, then we wait 2 days and we send the first follow-up, then we may wait like 5 days and we send the follow-up again, then we wait like 11 days and we send a new cold email using a different thread, and then like 2 weeks later we send the last follow-up. So all in all, we try to be in touch with the prospect for about a month to a month and a half. That's that. We do the follow-ups for the same prospect that we sent the cold emails to. And sometimes, depending on the offer, depending on who we target, sometimes we may reach out to multiple people at the same company at the same time. But because we have A/B tests with all of our emails, they won't get the exact cold emails. And I wouldn't even worry about it, that we're reaching out to multiple people at once, because it's not that, hey, I just received this cold email from this company, have you also received it? Like, nobody will, search for you, so I wouldn't worry about it. It's better to be aggressive as opposed to being, fearful. You want results,
Yeah. All right, we'll take 2 more. And then, so we have Scales asking, how do you start? Right? Do you start with searching the client first? I don't completely understand. To secure a contract, do you start with searching the client first? Example, M&A, to sell them leads apps using cold emails to secure a contract and understand the numbers? Or do you give them a taste of your leads first, like free leads?
Got it. So with our model, so we have different models with different partners, but typically we first do the outreach for us, telling those, for example, M&A partners, that we can help them, get the desired results that they want. When we invite them to a call, I hop on a call with them. I ask questions about what they do. I try to figure out if they're a good fit for us. If they are a good fit, then I explain to them a little bit more about what is it that we are doing. And then, of course, we try to sign a contract. After they pay, only then I go and do the outreach for them. There are other scenarios, and I wouldn't recommend it for new people, but sometimes if you know that you can get really great results and the company has enough budget and really confident in what you do, you can start fully performance-based. Again, I'm not recommending that. You want at least something up front if you're new. At least get, just a setup fee or something, and then, do it from there. You can be paid either by a retainer, either by a pay-per-close, either by a pay-per-appointment, or both a retainer and percentage of deals. There are many ways, multiple ways to skin the cat, but that's that.
Amazing. Thanks so much, Tal. It was really, really good. I personally learned a lot. I think the people who joined too. So thanks, Tal.
You're welcome.
Is there a way people can contact you if they?
Yes, so I think the best ways are LinkedIn or just shoot me an email, and hopefully it was valuable for everybody here.
Yeah, this is incredible, Tal. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Appreciate it, guys. Take care.
Thank you, Tal.
Again, Tal. It was spectacular.
Thanks. Bye-bye.